Hey there, everybody, and welcome. Today, I am going to be presenting a solo tutorial and playthrough of Yedo, the Deluxe Master Set. Game designed by Thomas Vande Ginste and Wolf Plancke. The solo and cooperative game, entitled The Shogun Must Die, is designed by David Turczi, along with Wolf and Thomas. David, of course, is a well-known and loved game designer in his own right. He's probably best known for Anachrony and Dice Settlers, Kitchen Rush, Tekkenu, Tsuyu, which is coming out soon, along with a countless number of solo designs for board games modeled after the Automa or the Atoma principles that were laid out originally by Morten Monrad Peterson. I should include a special call out to David's design and solo contributions to Tricerion, which had its own successful Kickstarter a year or so ago. While Tricerion and Yedo are very different games, they do share a number of similarities and can safely be considered blood relatives in that regard. Now, as you can see here, I will be demonstrating and presenting this solo playthrough using a program that I wrote to play Yedo. If you watched any part of my Yedo multiplayer tutorial and playthrough, or if you're a subscriber to my YouTube channel, you know that this is what I do. I have used programs I've written to teach and play through medium to heavyweight board games in some 80-plus videos so far. I always say that the advantage of using a program is that it's going to provide you with a front row seat, let you see everything that's going on close up. But not only that, the program is also going to ensure that no mistakes are made in the course of this presentation. It's very easy, if you've ever done this, to be forgetful when you're simultaneously playing, presenting, and teaching a game in a video all at the same time. My program will help ensure that no mistakes are made and that no steps are accidentally forgotten or skipped. If you like what you see, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and do check out some of my other board game videos. If you like Yedo, you'll easily like many of the other games I've programmed over the years. Naturally, it goes without saying that I write these programs for my own personal use. I do not make them available to the public because of the obvious copyright restrictions. The only exception would be where a publisher specifically asked me to make a program available for free, a case in point being my program for Too Many Bones several years ago, a solo game published by Chip Theory Games, which is still very popular. Okay, enough about that. For purposes of this solo video, I'm going to assume that you already know how to play the regular multiplayer game of Yedo, or you've watched my multiplayer tutorial. I'll include a link to that in the show notes. If you want to skip the following overview of the solo game and jump right into the action, skip to the next chapter at the timestamp that I'll show on the screen. The solo design for Yedo is actually a solo and cooperative design, which means you can play Yedo by yourself, or you can play it cooperatively with other players and include the Shogun Must Die elements that will present you with a somewhat different but equally challenging way to play the game. In fact, you can even play a solo cooperative game, if you wish, by playing the clan houses of two separate but open and cooperative players. I may actually attempt that in a future video, but suffice it to say, you should not try doing that yourself until you've mastered the solo game. I said somewhat different because the Shogun Must Die does not attempt to play competitively with you. That would be near impossible in a game like this. Instead, it prevents you with a specific set of challenges that you must meet and succeed at in order to win the game. Step one in getting ready to play Yedo solo or cooperatively involves removing the action, bonus, and mission cards that contain the No Solo co-op icon in the top or bottom right-hand corner. That icon is a circle with a slash through it, similar to a No Parking Here sign. By my count, there are 17 action cards, there are 9 bonus cards, and 37 mission cards that are excluded when you're playing solo or co-op. Specifically, as far as the mission cards are concerned, the 6 Jesuit bidding cards are excluded, as well as the 16 soft interaction and 15 hard interaction mission cards. Furthermore, if you're going to play with the Clan Powers module, don't use the Generous Clan Power that has the icon on it. And if you're going to play with the Tea House module, don't play with the Banker or the Harbor Master. Both of those are excluded in solo and co-op play as well. In addition, while there will be an event phase when playing solo or cooperatively, you won't be using the normal event cards. In place of those, you'll be using a subset of the 30 Emperor cards, and you'll also be using all of the 8 Daimyo cards that are included with the game, so you'll want to have those out when you're ready to play. You'll be using a single Kill the Shogun mission card at random, as usual, but you won't add it to your black mission deck the way you normally would. The game's bot, which is named the Daimyo, it uses a set of 4 disciples and a turn order marker in an unused player color. If you're playing solo, you'll also use the bidding and scoring markers in the Daimyo's color to mark your goals, as well as another single disciple in an unused color that you'll use for yourself, a disciple specifically referred to as the Errand Boy. I'll talk more about the Errand Boy shortly. If you're playing cooperatively, you won't need an Errand Boy disciple, but you will need a third marker to make note of a third cooperative goal. To mark those 3 goals, you can use the bidding and scoring markers in the Daimyo's color, along with one of the specialists in the Daimyo's color, or if you prefer, you could simply use any 3 tokens of your choosing. It really doesn't matter. You'll set up the game as a 2 to 5 player game. Simply count the number of human players, add 1 for the bot. This count will affect how many geishas are in play and what their point values are. It'll also affect how many of each annex is in play, following the typical rules as described in the setup. Furthermore, this count will dictate how many placeholder tokens you'll use to block action spaces on the board, according to step 14 on page 11 of the rulebook. One exception to this is if you're playing solo, you against the Daimyo, whereas you would normally block off 2 of the 3 temple district spaces in a 2-player game. When you're playing solo, only block off 1 of the 3 spaces in the temple district. Or, if you want, block off 2 of those spaces for an extra challenge. You'll be playing a special 7-round game of Yedo, so place the No Watch Patrol marker on round 7 on the game board. Set up a turn order marker so that the Daimyo player goes last in player order. The Daimyo starts the game with 2 of its disciples, or 3 if you'd like an additional challenge. Set aside the 1 or 2 unused disciples of the Daimyo's color until they're called for later in the game. Lay out the solo co-op board next to the main game board. So the solo co-op board looks like this. Take the 30 Emperor cards and separate them into 3 separate decks by color and shuffle each deck independently. There's a set of 9 green Emperor cards, 9 yellow Emperor cards, and 12 red Emperor cards. Then you're going to choose a difficulty level for your game, be it gentle, demanding, or insatiable, as indicated in step 7 on page 33 of the rulebook. Based on your chosen difficulty level and the number of human players in the game, you're going to construct a smaller 7-card deck of Emperor cards. For my game today, I'll be playing a solo gentle game, so my 7-card deck is going to consist of 5 green Emperor cards, followed by 2 yellow Emperor cards, all drawn at random. Place this 7-card deck of Emperor cards face down on the middle upcoming errand space, as shown here. With the deck face down, you want to be sure any green cards are on the top, any yellow cards are in the middle, and any red cards are on the bottom, so that as you reveal these cards one by one, that is 1 per round, you'll start off with easier cards, and the cards will get progressively harder over the course of the game as you graduate from green, then to yellow, and then to red. You're also going to draw another 2 yellow Emperor cards at random and place them face down in the winning condition space shown here. Take the randomly drawn Kill the Shogun mission card that you would normally shuffle into your black deck, but for this game you're going to place it face up on top of the 2 face down yellow cards in the winning condition space. Next, take the 8 Daimyo cards, shuffle them, and deal face down a number of them side by side in a row equal to the number of disciples the Daimyo is starting the game with. So if you're playing a normal solo game, you'll draw and lay out 2 face down Daimyo cards side by side. If you're playing the more challenging game, whereby the Daimyo starts off with 3 disciples, then you'll deal 3 Daimyo cards face down in a row. Regardless, you're going to flip over and reveal the second card face up. In subsequent rounds, as the Daimyo gains additional disciples up to the limit of 4, you'll be laying out 3 and eventually 4 Daimyo cards, but you're always going to be revealing the second of those cards. All the other cards are going to be face down. If you ever run out of Daimyo cards, you'll simply shuffle the discard pile as needed. Not only does that second revealed card provide you with a hint of what the Daimyo is going to be doing that round, it also serves another purpose, as you'll soon see once we get the game underway. Note that the rules I just discussed, by the way, regarding the Daimyo cards are described in step 10 on page 33 of the rule book, but they're incomplete. You have to be sure during setup that you draw a number of Daimyo cards face down equal to the number of the Daimyo's disciples in play, and then reveal the second of those cards. Finally, take the 2 or 3 markers you set aside earlier and mark your goals for the game. This provides an additional difficulty level. If you're playing solo, you'll only need to mark a lowest prestige objective and an errands completed objective on the left and right, respectively. If you're playing co-op, you'll also mark a highest prestige objective. The rules recommend you start at the normal level, but for my game today, since I honestly don't know what's going to happen, I'll be focused on teaching the game. I'm not going to be focused on playing the game well, so I'm going to be using the easy objectives of 10 in the lowest prestige column, and 5 completed errands over here on the right. Remember, if you're playing solo, you start the game with 2 normal disciples and a 3rd disciple in another color, your Errand Boy. That means, as a solo player, you may eventually have as many as 5 workers at your disposal, potentially 6 if you ever take command of the Ronin character. The Errand Boy does have some limitations, however, and I'll talk about those shortly. If you're playing cooperatively, each player starts the game with their 2 regular disciples. If you're playing with the clan powers, each human player should choose one based on the normal clan power rules. As you might suspect, the clan powers will provide the human players with a leg up and make the game somewhat easier. Furthermore, if you're going to be playing with the Tea House character module, set that up normally as well. That too makes for a somewhat easier game for the human players, so you can adjust all the difficulty levels, the gentle, demanding, and insatiable choice you made earlier when you were creating your 7-card Emperor deck, and the goals you set here on the lower section of the solo co-op board, and you'll set those according to how easy or how difficult you want the game to be. The 7-card Emperor deck in the upcoming errand space in the middle serves as multi-purpose cards during gameplay. From now on, I'm going to refer to these cards as errands and not as Emperor cards. In round 1, you will reveal the top card of the upcoming errands. This card is going to control how the bidding will work, it will also indicate what the current event card is for round 1, And finally, the card itself will serve as a separate and distinct errand that you must complete within 2 rounds or you'll suffer a penalty. Errands are nothing more than special missions that you and the other players, if you're playing cooperatively, have to complete in addition to your individual mission cards. The key difference is that when completing errands in a cooperative game, all players can cooperatively help out in meeting the errand's requirements. But in order to help out with a specific errand, a player must have at least one of their disciples in one of the districts depicted on the errand. Sometimes you'll complete an errand the way you would normally complete any mission. But at other times, at least one player must place a disciple on the errand in order to complete it, assuming its requirements have already been met, or will be met. In that case, the player who assigned and activated the disciple on the errand is automatically part of the group of players who are contributing to the errand's success. When an errand is completed, it's removed from the board and set aside in a separate pile for endgame scoring purposes. All of the greened errand cards provide a single set of rewards that are given to one player among those who contributed to that errand's success. The yellow and red errand cards provide a specific set of rewards. When a player or players complete one of those errands, each contributing player chooses a unique reward from those listed. Sometimes there may not be enough rewards to go around, and not every player can earn one. If the upcoming errand in round 1 is not completed during round 1, it's going to slide over to the right to the current errand space in round 2, and a new upcoming errand will be revealed in the center space for round 2. If you, playing solo or as a group, haven't completed the round 1 errand by the end of round 2, this card's going to slide off the right. All players will then suffer a penalty that's depicted at the bottom of the errand card. So essentially, you have 2 rounds to complete each errand. In order to win the game, you or your group will have to complete the number of errands you selected in the bottom right goal. So in my case, I have to complete 5 errands. Also, one player, not a group of players, one player must complete the black Kill the Shogun mission that's in the leftmost space here in order to win the game. Most importantly, when you or another player does complete that Kill the Shogun mission, the player who does so does not gain the rewards shown on the mission card. The Kill the Shogun mission card can be completed by any player at any time before the end of the game, and that mission card does not count against any individual player's hand limit. Finally, every player's score must equal or exceed the lowest prestige point goal, and at least one player's score, when you're playing co-op, has to equal or exceed the highest prestige point goal. Remember, in a solo game, your score must equal or exceed the lowest prestige point goal. There is no highest prestige point goal to worry about when you're playing solo. Once a player has completed that black Kill the Shogun mission, the yellow errand beneath it, the first of the 2 yellow errands, will be revealed, and they'll provide an additional errand that can be completed by a player or a group of players. So a complete solo co-op game actually consists of 9 total errands. 7 that get parked here in the upcoming errand space at the start of the game, and the 2 that are concealed under the black Kill the Shogun mission. So in addition to those 9 errand cards, of course, there's the 1 black Kill the Shogun mission on top that's face up in the winning condition space. Alright, that's more than enough setup blather. Let's get to what you came here for, the actual solo playthrough. I'm going to explain everything that's going on as I hopefully play through all 7 rounds of the game. For this game, as I said up front, I will be playing solo and gentle. So my errand deck is going to consist of 5 easy green errands followed by 2 medium yellow errands that'll show up in round 6 and 7. As you can see, I've decided to use the neutral and moneymaker sets of mission cards and the neutral resources and rule changer sets of action cards. You can ignore the event cards here. Remember, event cards are not used when you're playing solo or the cooperative game. I will also be playing with the Clan Powers module, the Specialist module, and the Tea House module, so you'll see how all 3 of those work and how everything works together. I'm going to be the blue player. The Daimyo is going to be the red player. And let's get underway. My program has taken care of most of the game setup now. Here's the black Kill the Shogun mission that I must complete in order to win the game. As you can see here, I've chosen the easy goal of 10 for my lowest prestige point goal, and 5 for the number of errands I have to complete. Also, here are my starting 2 disciples in blue, as well as my little errand boy. I start the game with my normal 12 mon and 1 prestige point, and at this point I'm ready to determine my starting hand of mission cards. Now, in a normal game of Yedo, it's recommended you start with 3 green mission cards and a red, though honestly you can start with any combination of cards that suits you. For this game, I'm actually going to start with 3 green mission cards and 1 yellow mission card. Since I'm playing it easy, I don't think I'm going to have to get too stressed out over red and black missions. Believe it or not, this is my first solo game attempt, so honestly, I have no idea what to expect. I may be a total disaster, or I may do well. I honestly don't know. We're going to find out together. So I'm choosing 3 green missions to start with, and 1 yellow mission. Now I have to choose my clan power. It looks as though I'm choosing between the duplicitous, whereby I start with my ninja specialist, and the tenacious, which lets me pay 1 mon less for everything in the game. For me, there's nothing like having an extra worker right from the get-go, so I'm going to choose the duplicitous. And now I've got my 2 disciples, my errand boy, and my ninja starting the game. So now I'm going to choose a Favor of the Shogun card, which is also going to dictate which tea house character I start with, and where the watch patrol will start. I think I'm going to choose 7 mon, which is paired with the shopkeeper at all times. And that's good. The shopkeeper, of course, is going to let me choose 1 of 3 weapons during the event phase. You can see the indicator here in the left-hand corner of the 7 mon favor that indicates that the watch patrol is going to start in the castle district, be it yellow or silver, depending upon how the program flipped the coin at the start of the game. So I'm starting with 19 mon and 1 prestige point. It looks as though the watch patrol came up gold, and it's starting in the castle district as expected. So for now, it's moving clockwise in this direction. So now we're in round 1, bidding phase. Each human player, or just you if you're playing solo, is going to secretly select a bid by concealing an amount of mon in their hand, and when everybody's ready, the bids are simultaneously revealed. The bids are secret, but players, if you're playing cooperatively, can discuss what they're hoping to buy with their bid. Of course, a player with too little money can choose to egress from the bidding phase, as usual, dropping out completely and gaining 3 mon at the start of the bidding phase. Once the bids are revealed, the next upcoming errand card is revealed in the center here on the board, which will contain a list of minimum bid amounts for each of the 7 assets in the game. Each player pays the amount of their bid and then selects an asset with a bid value that's less than or equal to the amount of the player's bid. As with the regular game, each asset can only be selected by one player. Since my first errand card is green, I know ahead of time what the average bid values are going to be because I have a handy player aid that I made. So when you're playing with a green Emperor card, for each type of asset, I can calculate the average bid value that's going to show up across all the possible Emperor cards that might show, as well as a high value and a low value. Since I'm hoping to grab another specialist, I'm going to bid 4. That way I'm going to ensure that I meet or exceed the 3 or 4 that's going to show up on the errand card. So I'm going to bid 4, and now I'm going to place my bid, and the top upcoming errand card is going to get revealed. And that card is Arm Yourselves. So you can see here that since I bid 4, I could potentially select the action card asset, the bonus card asset, not the weapons, because weapons I needed to bid at least 5. I can't select the Annex asset because I didn't bid 5 or higher. I can't select the Geisha asset because I didn't bid 6 or higher. But I did bid 4, and that's going to allow me to select the Specialist asset. If I wanted, I could instead select the Mission card asset. As planned, I am going to use my bid on the Specialist. So I'm going to have to pay 4 Mon. So I drop down from 19 to 15. And because the Specialist token shows both a Messenger and a Monk, I can choose which Specialist I want to recruit here. The Messenger, remember, when used to complete a mission, lets you draw a new mission card to replace the one you just completed. If I use a Monk to complete a mission, that provides me with a virtual blessing, so I don't actually have to have a physical blessing on my player board. A couple notes, by the way, regarding the bid values on the errand card over here. If the Daimyo player is first in turn order in the current round, you have to add 1 to all of these values. So in fact, the minimum bid value for the action and bonus cards in that case would be 4 and 4. And then this would be 6 and 6 and 7 and 5 and 5. There is a Daimyo interference token that comes with the game, which you can use as a reminder of this anytime the Daimyo is at the top of the turn order track. Furthermore, the Daimyo over time will create a collection of money down here in the Tavern District. That collection of money is known as the Annex Offer. The amount of Mon in that offer permanently increases the value you may bid or the amount you must pay in order to gain an annex. So in this example, if the Daimyo was first in turn order and the interference token was showing, and the Daimyo had previously created an annex offer of 2 Mon, then the bid value for annexes would not be 5, it would be 5 plus 1 for the interference token, because the Daimyo is first in turn order, plus 2, the amount that was in the annex offer, for a total of 8. I would have to bid 8 or higher in order to win the annex bid. Of course, the bid values for everything else would be 1 Mon higher, again, because the Daimyo was first in turn order. The annex offer only affects the bid and the purchase price when you're in the tavern for annexes. The bottom line is it's in my best interest to try and prevent the Daimyo from going first, and also to build annexes sooner rather than later in the game, because it's only a matter of time before the Annex Offer starts increasing in value. Anyway, looking at my mission cards in my hand, well, I get a blessing here, blessing here, blessing here. I think I'm going to go with the monk. So now I am ready to play with a full set of 5 workers, which should definitely make for an easier game for me. Now we're in the event phase, and I'm going to activate my shopkeeper and choose from one of 3 weapons drawn from the bag. So from what I can see, it looks as though the katana makes the most sense, at least in the short term. Though I shouldn't forget that ultimately, for the Kill the Shogun mission, I'm going to need a bow, a blowgun, a shuriken, and smoke bombs in order to kill the Shogun. And as you can see, I'm also going to need to own all 4 of the annexes and 2 geishas as well. So I'm going to select the katana, and the rope and the shuriken are going to be added to the end of the market. So there's the rope and the shuriken over here. All of these weapons, of course, cost 8, and the bow and the poison here are in the 6 value spaces. They only cost 6. Let's take a closer look at this errand called Arm Yourselves. So the way of the empty hand is powerful, yet the way of the silent death can be most effective. Prepare all we need to freely choose between the 2 paths. Fortunately for me, the current round's event card is Lazy Watch Patrol. The Watch Patrol will not move this round, so I skip the Watch Patrol phase entirely. The objectives of the errand require that a disciple be placed on it to activate it, and I have to own some poison and a weapon school in order to complete this errand. If I do, I'm going to gain 5 mon and a mission card of a color of my choice. So looking at the market, there is poison, and I have at least 2 missions that I could potentially complete. Actually 3, since I have the monk at my disposal who can provide me with this temporary blessing that I need. Anyway, now we're in round 1's assignment phase, and I'm at the top of the turn order. The second Daimyo card has been revealed, and it is this card, the Market. So I know that the Daimyo will be placing his second disciple in the market, if it can. Now, I have this green mission card that pays 10 mon for being in the palace here. And I think I'm going to start by placing my monk in the bower. That'll set me up to complete this mission, and it's also going to prevent the Daimyo from claiming first position in turn order by placing a disciple in the bower. So I'm going to select my monk and place it here in the bower, thereby blocking the Daimyo. So I paused the game here, and now we've revealed the first Daimyo card, and it indicates the Gates District. So the Daimyo is going to place its first disciple in the Gates District. The values that might be shown down here at the bottom of the Daimyo cards affect the movement of the Watch Patrol and simulate the Daimyo playing an action card during the Watch Patrol phase. We already know that there's not going to be a Watch Patrol phase this round, so there's no need to worry about these numbers at the moment, but we'll look at them more closely in subsequent rounds. Here's a hint, by the way. Since the Daimyo is going to be placing in the Gates District, it's going to use that disciple eventually to gain a third disciple during the action phase. And the Daimyo is going to be starting then with 3 disciples at the beginning of round 2. Remember, we also know that the Daimyo's second of 2 disciples is going to be going into the market. So I'm going to unpause and I'm going to let the Daimyo complete this Daimyo card and place its first worker in the Gates district. For my next assignment, I'm going to be placing a disciple in the Gates district as well, with an eye toward completing this yellow mission card possibly. So I'm going to choose a disciple and place in the Gates district. And we know what the Daimyo is going to do next. We know it's going to be placing in the market because that second Daimyo card was previously revealed face up. And there it goes. So the Daimyo has now finished placing its 2 disciples in this current assignment phase, but I still have 3 disciples to go. I'm going to assign a disciple to the market within my eye on picking up the poison that I need for this errand card up here. So I'm going to place in the market. And I'm going to place my errand boy well, I need a weapon school for this. I'm going to place my, and do I need, yeah, here I need a Yashiki mansion. Here I need a weapon school. Yeah, I'm going to place my errand boy in the tavern so I can build a weapon school. And while I'm at it, let me clarify what the errand boy can and cannot do. So the errand boy can perform any district action on the game board, including recruiting a character, and it can be placed onto an annex in your clan house in order to take advantage of that annex's passive abilities. For example, you could then use the errand boy and return it to your set of disciples to gain a virtual blessing or maybe a virtual geisha. The errand boy cannot be used to complete a mission, and its presence in a district does not count toward a mission's requirements. In addition, the errand boy, its presence in a district does count toward that errand's requirements. Now currently, this errand does not have any district requirements, so it really doesn't matter. For my last placement, I guess my ninja is going to go onto this errand because there is an action space on this errand card. So I have to have a disciple there or a specialist to complete it. And hopefully I'm going to have the poison and the weapon school I need to complete this errand. So I'm going to place my ninja on the errand card. As expected, there was no watch patrol phase. We just blasted right through that because of the fact that the errand card says lazy watch patrol. There is no watch patrol phase this round. So we moved directly into the action phase. Now, there's no trading phase either, by the way, when you're playing solo, since you can't trade with the Daimyo. But if you're playing co-op, you follow the normal trading rules as far as the human players are concerned. There might be less of a need to trade because of the co-op nature of the game, but it is a possibility, especially if you need to beef up a player in order to manage the Kill the Shogun card. Essentially, when you're playing a co-op game, players can cooperatively work together to complete an errand. So for instance, in this example, maybe one player has poison and another player has the weapon school. Those 2 players then work together to complete this errand. But since there's only one reward, only one of those 2 players actually collect that reward. So in order to strategically plan your actions during the action phase, it's important to know how the daimyo will manage its disciples and its actions, and how it's going to prioritize them. So I'm going to clean up the board a little bit here and go through those 7 priorities that the daimyo walks through every time it has to choose what action it's going to perform next. So first, if the daimyo has a disciple in the harbor district, it takes all the money from the church and then returns the disciple to its supply. If there isn't any money in the church, it still performs this step, but of course nothing happens other than the fact that it takes its disciple and brings it back to its clan house. Next, if it doesn't have a disciple in the harbor district, it checks to see if the daimyo has a disciple in the market district. If it does, it uses that disciple to discard the rightmost weapon from the market. Now that's important in our case because it means that the daimyo's first action will be to get rid of that poison in the market. So we're going to have to activate there first in order to get the poison. And actually, I'm going to do that right now. Since I go first, I'm going to activate this disciple. I'm going to choose to buy a weapon, and then I'm going to choose to purchase this poison for 6 mon, bringing my total mon down to 9. So now I have a katana and some poison. And when I click end turn, well, we know that the daimyo, because it doesn't have a disciple in the harbor district, it's going to activate this disciple in the market district, and it's going to discard the bow here in the second space of the market, essentially the rightmost weapon. If the daimyo is not in the harbor and it's not in the market, and it has a disciple in the red light district, it takes the highest valued geisha from the supply and it removes it from the game. Now that's important to us here since we know that we're eventually going to need 2 geishas in order to win the game, in order to have a chance at winning the game, because remember, to win the game I have to be able to complete this black Kill the Shogun mission. Fourth, if the daimyo has a disciple in the gates district, which it does, it takes its next disciple for use starting in the next round. So we know what the daimyo is going to do next. It's going to activate this disciple here, and it's going to take its 3rd disciple for use starting in round 2. Next, in priority, if the daimyo has a disciple in the castle district, it activates the bower. Now, the daimyo will never place in the shogun space or in the bakufu space. It will always place, if it's going to place in the castle, it's going to activate the bower. If it was already the start player, and as a result of the bower getting activated, it becomes the start player again, then every other player has to lose 1 prestige point. So this rule is in effect even if a player activates the bower while the daimyo has a disciple there. Now, of course, when you're playing 2 players, you against the daimyo, that's not possible because there's only 1 available action space in the bower. But if you were playing cooperatively, there might be more spaces available there. 6th in priority is if the daimyo has a disciple in the tavern district, it places 1 additional mon on the Annex Offer. That mon obviously comes from the supply. Each coin, remember, placed on the Annex Offer permanently increases the cost of the Annex's price, whether you buy it during the bidding phase or you use the Tavern District action to buy it. And finally, if the daimyo has a disciple in the Temple District, each player who does not currently have a disciple in the Temple District loses 1 prestige point. Remember, if you're playing a 2-player game, you against the daimyo, so you're playing solo, normally in a 2-player game, only 1 space would be available in the Temple District. But then, if the daimyo placed a disciple on that single space, you would be forced to lose a prestige point. So when you're playing solo, you against the daimyo, you free up one additional space in the temple district, so you have a chance to prevent the daimyo from possibly costing you a prestige point. So if the daimyo is there and you have a disciple or a specialist there, if the daimyo activates its disciple while you're still in the temple district, nothing bad's going to happen. But if you previously used this disciple or specialist to do something in the temple district and now that space is empty, and the daimyo subsequently activates its disciple in the temple district, well, you're no longer there, so you're going to lose a prestige point. Of course, by having the extra space there in the temple district, it means that if you're not careful, the daimyo can place there twice and take 2 prestige points away from you. So now we know that in this particular example, the daimyo first activates here in the market, and subsequently in its next turn, it's going to activate in the gates district, and it's just going to get its 3rd disciple. So I'm going to activate my monk in the castle in order to complete my 3rd green mission card here, which is Kidnap Sayuri, daughter of Kenjiro, the famous calligrapher. Pardon my Japanese pronunciation. The celebrated calligrapher Kenjiro ignores our request to work for us. Kidnap his daughter Sayuri when she is visiting the castle gardens. That will surely change his mind. So in order to complete this mission, I need to have my activating disciple or specialist in the castle. I need to spend a blessing, and by doing that, I'm going to earn 10 mon. I need Fighting Claws in order to complete the bonus. I don't have Fighting Claws, therefore I'm not going to be able to complete the bonus, and I won't be scoring 1 prestige point. I am activating my monk. Remember, the monk provides the virtual blessing I need in order to complete the top half of this mission card. So by doing so, I am going to gain 10 mon and go from 9 mon to 19 mon. Okay, next, as expected, the daimyo is going to take its 3rd disciple after activating its disciple in the gates district. And now the daimyo is done as far as this round is concerned. So now I have enough money to build my weapons school with my errand boy down here. And that's going to drop me down to 8 mon from 19. And I'll gain 2 prestige points, raising my score to 3. And now that I have the poison and I have the weapon school, I have what I need to activate my ninja and complete this errand. That's good for a mission card and 5 mon. So I got my 5 mon. Now I can choose the mission card deck I want to draw the mission card from. And since I'm more interested in easy money at the moment, I think I'm going to take a green mission card. Lastly, I have my disciple in the gates district. Now I could recruit a messenger for 7 mon, and I could also complete this yellow mission and score 1 prestige point and 5 mon. I'd obviously lose out on the bonus because I don't have a Yashiki mansion. But you know what? Let me see what characters are available. Captain of the Guard. Sensei, which allows me to upgrade a disciple to a specialist essentially for free. Palace Guard, and the Beggar, which is pretty useless, I think, when you're playing against the when you're playing solo, because there's no way you're going to gain anything other than 2 mon. I think I am going to activate this disciple. I'm going to recruit a character, and I'm going to choose the sensei. Okay. Now, of course, I won't use that until round 2, which is about to start right now. So we're at the end of round 1, and I have 1 mission completed, kidnap Sayuri, and so far I have completed 1 errand, arm yourselves. Moving into round 2. Okay, we're in the bidding phase of round 2. And I think for this bidding phase, I'm going to start collecting the geishas I need in order to complete this Kill the Shogun mission. The Daimyo didn't go to the red light district last round, so it's more likely it's going to go there this coming round, especially now that it has 3 disciples to work with. And keep in mind, there's at least 1 Kill the Shogun mission that requires that you have 3 geishas. And if you happen to get that Kill the Shogun mission card here in the winning condition space, I would think your strategy would change a little bit. You'd have to block this space in the red light district until and collect your 3 geishas before the Daimyo had any chance to play there and collect a geisha for its own. Now, fortunately, I can sacrifice 1 geisha because I only need 2 of the 3 that are up here in the geisha market. Now, looking at my cheat sheet for green Emperor cards, I can see that the minimum bid value for a geisha is 5, and the high bid value for a geisha is 7, with an average of 5.67. So since the bid values for geishas is between 5 and 7, with an average of roughly 5.7, I think I'm going to bid 6 and hope that's high enough in order to get a geisha. So I'm going to place that bid. A Emperor card, a new errand, is going to show up in the middle here, and we're going to see if the bid of 6 was high enough. It was. I needed to bid at least 5 in order to get a geisha, so I've essentially overbid, and I have to pay 6 mon, but that's okay. I am going to take my first geisha. Of course, that's worth 3 prestige points. So I'm paying 6 mon to get 3 prestige points, which is a pretty good deal. So the event phase came up, and the event was raiding pirates. Place the watch patrol at the harbor district, skip the watch patrol phase. A lot of the green cards, I guess, are like that, where you skip the watch patrol phase. Not all of them, probably, but many of them. So the watch patrol has moved to the harbor district, and there's not going to be a watch patrol phase this round. Now, the errand, let's again take a look down here. We need more ears and eyes about the castle, and few can see as much as a certain talented geisha whose favor we need to secure. Make sure she is where we most need her. So this mission requires that you have a disciple at the castle, that you have at least 1 geisha, and if you succeed at completing this errand, you will earn a disciple. Now, I already have my max 5 disciples, so even though I'm not going to gain a reward for completing this errand, I still think I'm going to try and complete it to get it out of the way. This does not have an action space on it, so I simply have to get a disciple or somebody into the castle. I have my geisha, so I will simply complete this errand. It'll move to the list of completed errands, but unfortunately I'm not going to gain a reward for it. We're in the assignment phase of round 2. Oh, and I'm going to activate my sensei. So that's going to deactivate one of my disciples, simulating the fact that that disciple is now sitting on the sensei character. So it's this disciple here. This disciple is now inactive. I can't use it. But at the end of the action phase, sensei is going to allow me to upgrade that disciple into one of the specialists that are down here, which is essentially either a messenger, a male samurai, or a female samurai on a big geisha. For this errand, I need to be in the castle. Clearly, I am going to go to the bower with the disciple again, right off the bat. That's also going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It's going to allow me to essentially complete this errand, and it's going to keep the daimyo away from the bower. So I'm going to take a disciple, I think, yeah, and I'm going to place it here in the bower in the castle. Now, the second card that the daimyo is going to reveal or use is a tavern card, and it also causes the watch patrol to move 1 extra space. That doesn't apply again because once again in round 2 we are not going to have an active watch patrol. But we know that the daimyo's second disciple is going into the tavern. So I'm selecting here, I am going into the bower space, and then we're going to see the first daimyo card get revealed. It is the Temple District, and this little icon down here indicates that if you were playing with a normal watch patrol phase this round, you could use a blessing to avoid being arrested for one of your disciples. So the daimyo is going to place its first disciple in the Temple District. It's going to place its second disciple in the Tavern District, and we don't know where it's going to place its third disciple. So let me unpause. It's going to the temple. And at this point, unless I place here, I'm guaranteed to lose 1 prestige point because the daimyo will eventually activate this disciple. I won't be there, and therefore that's going to cause me to lose a point. We know that the daimyo is going to the tavern next. And I know that I want to build, what was it, a Yoshiki mansion. Well, essentially, I have to build all 4 of my mansions eventually, all 4 of my annexes eventually. I'm going to place my errand boy into the Tavern District, and in a moment, I'm going to get joined, well, immediately, I'm going to get joined there by the daimyo's second disciple. There it is. Next up, I think I'm going to go to the market in order to complete this green mission, which will eventually give me 5 mon. I do have the weapons school, so I'll get an additional 3 mon, a prestige point, and an action card. So my ninja is going to go here into the market. And now we're going to find out what the next daimyo card is, and it's going to indicate where the daimyo is going to place next. Okay, it's the special card. Doesn't have any specific district shown on it. So when this card is revealed, it's like a wild card. It causes you to repeat the last daimyo card, essentially redo the last daimyo card that was revealed previous to this one. If this one happens to be the first daimyo card revealed, this is would be for the first placement of a daimyo disciple that round, then there obviously isn't a previous Daimyo card to mimic. So in that case, it mimics the card that's second in the Daimyo row. And that's the other reason why the second card in the row is revealed. Just in case this card shows up first, you need to know what the second card is so that you can repeat it for the first disciple and then do it again for the second disciple. So since the Daimyo just went to the tavern, that was its previous placement, with this card is going to tell it to place again in the tavern, which it cannot do because all the spaces down there are filled. So its backup plan is to place in the bower, but it can't do that either because I'm there. So its backup plan is to place in the first available action space away from the castle, moving in the same direction as the watch patrol. So since the watch patrol is gold and is currently moving in a clockwise direction, we're going to start here in the castle, move clockwise. There's an available action space in the Gates district, so we know that the Daimyo is going to place there because it got blocked here and it got blocked here. And there she goes. Next, I am also going to go to the Gates district so I can complete this yellow mission here. And I'm going to place my monk there. And that's it for the assignment phase. Remember, this is an inactive disciple. For me, I can't use it. It's essentially sitting on the sensei character right now. So again, there's no watch patrol phase. We move right into the action phase. And my first action is going to use my ninja in the market, I think. Yeah, to complete this mission here. It's going to gain me 5 Mon. I have a weapon school. I'm going to gain an additional 3 Mon. So 8 will bring me from 7 up to 15. I'm going to collect a prestige point and gain an action card. And this is learn which weapons will be for sale in the market. We would like to start our own weapon shop, but competition's pretty stiff. Try and find out what weapons are highly sought after at the market so we can fine-tune our selection. I need to be in the Gates district, execute a disciple there. I will gain 5 Mon, and by having a weapons school, I will also gain a point, 3 additional Mon, and an action card. And I guess I should stop to see what my starting action card was and what the action card I just gained happened to be. So my starting action card was expansion. In any phase, I can permanently remove a location inaccessible counter from the board, or I can receive 1 prestige point. I guess I'll wait for a while to see if I might want to use that to remove a placeholder token. I don't think that's likely, but I might want an extra space in the red light district. I'm not sure. I got 1 geisha already. As long as I can get my second geisha, I'll be happy. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do with that, but I will try to resolve it at some point, either to remove a counter or I'll just gain them 1 point. Then the enforcer, during the assignment phase, play this card when placing a disciple. You may put the disciple in a district fully occupied by disciples. You may not put the disciple, however, in the castle district. Okay, that could potentially come in handy if I get blocked out of a district by the Daimyo. I guess we'll wait and see. The Daimyo is here, here, and here. Therefore, its first priority is going to resolve the Gates district disciple, and it's going to procure its 4th disciple. By the way, that's what this value up here to the right of my Mon is. This shows me It reminds me as to the number of disciple that the Daimyo is currently playing with. I think with the cash that I have, the 15 mon, I'm going to use my errand boy to build that Yoshiki mansion. Oh, sorry, I have to end my turn and let the Daimyo do its thing in the Gates district. So there it gets its fourth disciple. So now I'm going to use my errand boy down here in the tavern to build an annex for 11 mon. Nothing's in the annex offer yet. And that should bring me down from 15 mon to 4 mon, and from 7 points up to 9 points. Okay. So now, next in priority is that the Daimyo is going to activate in the tavern. Again, look at my cheat sheet. I kind of memorized this already, but harbor, then market, then red light, then gates, then castle, then tavern, and finally temple. So the Daimyo is going to activate here. It's going to add 1 mon to the annex offer, thereby increasing the cost of bidding and building annexes by me by 1 mon. So now the annex offer is 1, and the price to build an annex here is now 12 mon instead of 11. So next up, I'm going to use the monk rather in the Gates district to complete this yellow mission. That's good for 5 plus 5 plus 10, 20 mon, 2 points, and a third action card for me. So that's going to bring me up to 24 mon and 11 points from 9 to 11. That's a huge amount of mon for that mission card. So this is accompany Daimyo Takeshi on his visit to the Emperor. Daimyo Takeshi has asked our clan to accompany him on his visit to the Emperor. This is an excellent opportunity to establish connections with the imperial court. You have been given the honor of representing our clan. Activate a disciple in the Gates district, have a katana, which we do, score a point, gain 5 mon, and if you also have a Yoshiki mansion and you have a blessing, and we're using our monk, so we have a virtual blessing, you'll also score 1 additional point, gain 15 additional mon, and gain an action card. And it looks as though I got weapon stash. Any phase pays 0, 2, or 3 mon to draw 1, 3, or 5 weapons from the bag. Keep 1, discard the rest. Daimyo is going to activate here in the Temple District, and since I'm not there, I am going to lose a point and drop from 11 to 10. I am going to select my disciple in the Castle District and activate the errand. Remember this, I just need to have a disciple in the castle and have a geisha. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to get a reward for this, but I will at least complete the errand, so it'll count toward my goal of having 5 completed errands. Okay. And I think that, yeah, that ends the action phase. And that is going to then bring me to upgrading my sensei disciple. And I can upgrade it to a messenger, a male samurai, or a female samurai, an Onabegeisha. Since I am down to 2 mission cards, I think I'm going to stick with my plan of adding a messenger to my arsenal. Okay, so I haven't increased the number of workers. I've simply replaced a disciple with a messenger. And now we're in round 3, bidding phase. And remember, I want my second geisha. So once again, because this is going to be a green errand card that comes up, I'm going to bid 6, which should hopefully be high enough to get a geisha. Now, of course, what are there, 9 green cards, and probably one of those green cards has 7 on it. There is a 1 in 9 chance that I'm going to fail with a bid of 6, but there's a pretty darn good chance that I'm going to succeed with a bid of 6. And of course, I may overbid like I did last time. And I overbid. I only needed to bid 5 or higher in order to get a geisha. It's all right. I'm just going to pay 6. I am going to get a geisha for 2 prestige points. And now I'm good as far as geishas are concerned, so I don't really care what happens to that 3rd geisha. I'm probably not going to need it. Well, I know I'm not going to need it. So I've got an action card alert because of my enforcer, no doubt, because we're now in the assignment phase. Again, let's take a closer look at this errand here. So the event card is weapon shortage. All weapons in the market cost 2 mon more than usual. And this is a pretty easy errand. In order to complete it, I simply need to have a disciple in the harbor district, and then I'll be able to gain 1 bonus card. And of course, we haven't looked at these penalties, but if I wait 2 rounds and I still don't complete this errand, each player loses 1 action card. If a player has no action cards, they instead lose 1 prestige point. But this is going to be a piece of cake to complete, so I'm not at risk of failing this. Oh, that reminds me, the fact that the weapon shortage is the event card, that reminds me, I might as well use my weapon stash down here and hope that I get something I need for my Kill the Shogun card. With that bow, a blowgun, a shuriken, or smoke bombs. Question is, do I want to pay 0 mon, 3 mon, or no, 0 mon, 2 mon to draw 3, 0 to draw 1, or 3 mon to draw 5? I've got 18 mon, and I think my odds are probably pretty good that I'm going to get something I need. I mean, it would be awful if I drew another katana or another poison. But I think the odds are in my favor that I'm going to at least get something decent. So I'm just going to draw 1 and hope for the best. Yeah, let's just go for it. Ugh, please. Oh, smoke bombs. That was one of them, wasn't it? Yes, smoke bombs. All right. Good. Okay. All right. So the Daimyo's second disciple is going to go into the red light district, and it is going to cause so there is a watch patrol phase this round. So the watch patrol is going to move 1 space as usual into the red light district, but we know that this card is going to force the watch patrol to move an additional 2 spaces. So at the very least, it's going to be in the temple district. And then depending upon what the other Daimyo cards say, it may move a little further, or something else might happen. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that, and I'm going to have to be careful, or maybe use my ninja if I want to go up into that area. By the way, it should come as no surprise that the watch patrol has no effect on the Daimyo's disciples. It only affects your disciples. Well, I need to be in the harbor here, and the harbor here. So clearly, I want to be in the harbor twice if I can. So I'm going to start by moving my messenger to the harbor, and then I'm really tempted to block off the bower first. But I really need to try and grab both these spaces. So I'm going to go with my messenger to the harbor, and we'll see what the first card, the first Daimyo card is that gets revealed. That will dictate what the Daimyo does. It is the Gates District with no effect on the watch patrol. Okay, so, and we know that the next watch patrol, the next card is going to be this one over here that moves the watch patrol 2 spaces and tells the Daimyo to place in the red light district. So right now it's going to place in the Gates District. Again, I got this action card alert. I am going to mark that, tell it not to remind me anymore, at least for this round. And so since the Daimyo went down here in the Gates District, I can now take, I guess I'll take a disciple and place in the other space in the harbor as well. We know that next the Daimyo is going to go into the red light district. There it goes. All right, so now, the Daimyo has 4 disciples. That's 2 of its 4 disciples. So far, it's got +2 on the watch patrol. So the watch patrol currently is aiming for the temple district, possibly beyond. I want to go to the bower just in case it moves an extra space. I'm going to use my ninja in the bower to prevent the Daimyo from placing there and taking first place in turn order. So the next card is the castle. If I had not done that, the Daimyo would place in the bower. It never places in the other spaces. It only places in the bower. Since it's now locked out of the bower, it is going to start looking in a clockwise direction for an empty space. It is going to go in the tavern, in the Gates District again. No effect on the watch patrol, so the watch patrol still aiming for the temple district. So it has 2 disciples in the Gates District. It already has 4 disciples max. So this is good for me because these turns are essentially going to be dead turns for the disciple, or for the Daimyo. It's not going to be able to accomplish anything. I think my errand boy is going to go to the tavern again, so I can pick up my 3rd disciple. Remember, I'm going to have to pay 12 mon instead of 11 mon. And what was that? The card that was revealed was the tavern card. So therefore, the Daimyo came down here into the tavern, taking the other free space. Oh, and it is going to switch the color of the watch patrol, as you can see from the icon at the bottom of the card. So now the watch patrol is we know for a fact that during the watch patrol phase, it's going to end up in the temple district and it's going to turn to silver. So from that point on, it's going to start moving in the other direction in subsequent rounds. For my monk, I think with only 2 mission cards, I'm going to place it in the Bakufu, though I could potentially use it to recruit a character, I suppose. Watch patrol phase, so as expected, it moves into the temple district and changes color to silver. And that brings us to the action phase. And I think to start with, I am going to go to the harbor and use my messenger to complete this green mission for 10 mon. Learn which ships will anchor at the harbor. Our trading activities in the harbor are booming. If we want to retain our leading position, it is crucial to know which ships will moor in the harbor. By knowing in advance what goods will arrive, we can more easily outmaneuver our competitors. Be in the harbor, gain 5. Have a geisha, gain 5 more. Brings me from 18 to 28 mon. And I get another mission card because I used my messenger. And I will choose... I'll choose a yellow mission. Okay, that's looking good. I need to be in the market, have smoke bombs, which I have. Pays 11 mon. If you have a geisha and you have a weapon school, which I do, you gain an additional 5 and a weapon from the market. Couldn't be more perfect given the fact that I just grabbed some smoke bombs earlier. So I'm going to end my turn, and the Daimyo is next going to activate in the red light district. It's going to take the 3rd geisha. So all the geishas are gone at this point. So now I'm going to activate in the harbor to complete the errand. I'm going to gain a bonus card, my first bonus card. And I got points per kidnapping mission, 2, 4, or 6 for completing 1, 2, or 3 kidnapping missions. So far I have 1. So that's good for 2 points. 4 completed missions, and just to confirm, 3 completed errands, and I'm in round 3, which makes perfect sense. So now the Daimyo is going to waste 2 turns just activating its disciples of the gate district and not accomplishing anything. First, its first disciple there. Nothing happens. I'm going to use my errand boy to build a dojo, which will start an income of 1 mon at the start of every subsequent round. Unfortunately, this is going to cost me 12 mon instead of 11, so I'm going to go from 28 down to 16. But gain 2 prestige points. Daimyo will go to the Gates District again. Do nothing. For my ninja in the bower, let's see what the characters are on tap. So I've got the fisherman. I'm an advisor to the Shogun. Draw 3 mission cards, keep 1. Geisha Tsuko again. I think I might grab that. Well, the Carpenter, which is also provides a 3 mon discount when bidding on an annex or buying it, building an annex in the tavern. But Geisha Tsuko is a little more flexible. You can use it for a weapon in the market or a visit to the tavern for a 3 mon discount, but you can't use it during the bidding phase. Or you can get an extra point when you're buying points at the harbor, which I don't anticipate I'll be doing anytime soon. I am going to take Geisha Tsuko, I think again. I think I've already had her at least once. Okay, the Daimyo is going to go to the tavern, and the Annex Offer is now going to raise to 2. adding 2 to the price of future annexes. Of course, I only have 1 more to build, so that's good for me. Finally, I am going to use my monk in the Bakufu to draw a mission card. I know I need to build another annex. I'm going to grab a green one for some easy cash. That should be a piece of cake. 10 mon for being in the tavern. Can't ask for better than that. That will end the round and move us into round 4. Okay, bidding phase. So I can't use Geisha Natsuko here in the bidding phase. I think I'm going to go for weapons. I need to start collecting the weapons I need for this Kill the Shogun mission. So my cheat sheet for green errand shows that the average for a weapon is 3.67, a low bid value of 3 and a high bid value of 5. I am going to take a chance and bid 4. Hopefully that will be enough. I draw the currency of the realm. Great deeds often require more than bravery and wits. Secure the funds necessary to make the changes this city needs. I wanted weapons, and I needed a 3 or higher. I bid 4. That's fine. So I'll pay 4, draw 3 weapons, and choose one, and hopefully I'll get something I need. Yeah, those look good. Either a shuriken, a bow, or a blowgun. Any one of those would be good. I will take the shuriken. So let's look at some more detail here. The current event is chaos. Every player with 1 or more uncompleted missions must return 1 uncompleted mission to the bottom of its deck. And now I have to choose which one I'm going to get rid of. And it's clearly going to be this one because I don't have fighting claws and I don't plan to buy fighting claws because I didn't need them for my Kill the Shogun mission. So yeah, this one's going. Again, I get the same action card alert. I'm going to deactivate alerts and continue. And now we're in the round 4 assignment phase. I know I want... So the errand requires a disciple here. Oh, and I have to pay 13 mon to complete it. So I need 13 mon for the errand. I need 11 plus 2 mon to build my 4th annex. That's another 13, so that's 26. I'm about to gain 16 over here for this mission. That'll bring me from 13 to 29. That should be just enough. The Daimyo's second card is going to be a repeat of what its first card was, or is going to be. We don't know yet. That could really screw me if it blocks me from a district I need to go to badly. I suppose I could try and predict what it's going to draw based on what it's drawn, over the last several cards. That's a fair, those cards are face up in a discard pile, so that's a fair use. But I don't want to waste time doing that right now. I only need 1 annex in the tavern, and I only have 1 mission to complete in the tavern and 1 mission to complete in the market. The yellow mission's more valuable to me. It pays 16 mon. plus a free weapon from the market, and there's a bow over there, so that is clearly what I would have my eyes on. So I'm going to go to the market first with my my messenger in order to complete this mission. Daimyo draws a market card, and it is going to the market as well. And we know its next card is going to be a repeat, so it's going to try to go to the market again with its next disciple. It's not going to be able to, so we know it's going to go to the bower unless I go there first. Where's the watch patrol headed here? So the watch patrol is currently here. It's going to move one space. Oh, it's going to move one space into the market unless another Daimyo card causes it to move a little farther. As it stands, I am going to need my blackmail card. I maybe should have moved my ninja up there, but you know, with 3 more cards that come out, I'm at least one of them you would think might move it, nudge it a little farther, so hopefully I won't have to worry about that. Well, I know he's going to want to go to the bower next, so I'm going to block the bower with the errand boy and keep him from going there, which means that he is going to move counterclockwise from the bower, and he'll go into the temple, which is going to cost me a point anyway. Unless I go to the temple as well. I want to build another annex, my last annex. So the watch patrol still only moving one space to the market. I doubt it's going to come all the way around here, but I will use my ninja in the tavern for purposes of building that annex. And it is going to the temple again. You can use a blessing to avoid arrest, which I don't have. So now I'm losing 2 points because it had 2 disciples in the temple. I will, I've got to get up to get this errand, and I need to have 13 mon, which I should have once I complete a mission or so. So I will move a disciple up to the action space on the errand. And it is going to the tavern. Oh, I got a +1. Great. So the watch patrol is now going to end up in the red light district, which won't affect me, which is just great. It saves me 2 points in having to use my blackmail card. I've got my monk left. Oh, 6 mon in the church? Yeah, I'm going to go and grab that while the going's good. Watch patrol phase. It's going to move into the red light district. And now we're in the action phase of round 4. What am I going to do first? So I guess I'll complete my yellow mission by activating my messenger in the market. This is steal a weapon from the market. Boriaki, the official in charge of the market, has been bought by our rivals. If it became known that he was unable to adequately secure the market, he would almost certainly be fired for gross incompetence. Let's see what happens if weapons start to disappear. So be in the market district with smoke bombs, create a distraction, gain 11 mon, use a geisha for additional distraction, have a weapons school so that the geisha have a place to hang out while they're waiting to go create that distraction. and then gain an additional 5 mon for a total of 16, and a weapon from the market, and we know there's a bow there that I need. This is all well and good, so I will activate this mission. Brings me up to 29 mon, and I'm going to grab the bow. Oh, and now I have too many weapons, so I will dump the poison. And now, because I used my messenger, I get a new mission card. I will take a yellow one. The Daimyo went to the... Oh, the Daimyo was about to go to the market. It will remove the katana. And I will... Oh, I'm going to build my sacred garden using my ninja. Well, I could complete this mission for 10, but I want to get that sacred garden before the price goes up any higher. Now I have Geisha Nutsuko, so I'm going to be paying 11 plus 2 minus 3, which is 10 mon. Can't complain. And it's my last annex. Yes, I am going to use Geisha Nutsuko, reduce the cost to 10. So I go from 29 to 19 mon, and I gain 2 prestige points going from 14 to 16. Obviously, I am well ahead of where I need to be to win the game for prestige points. And I've already completed 3 errands, so I'm well on my way to completing the 5 I need. Okay, what's the Daimyo going to do next? This it does last. It's going to go to the tavern next, and it's going to add another one to the Annex Offer. I'm done with annexes, so I don't care. I'm going to take my 6 mon from the church, going up to 25 mon. And now, for the next 2 turns, the Daimyo is going to steal a point from me, so I'm going to eventually drop from 16 points down to 14 points. And so I'm going to activate the errand here. Great deeds often require... Oh, I've already read that. Spend 13 mon, gain a point, so I'm going to get the point back, gain a blessing, and gain a mission card. And for the mission card, I'll take a yellow. It's nice to not have to worry about reds. Of course, this is looking to be easier than easy, so I guess I didn't need to go this easy, but it was my first game, and I'm doing it for a demonstration, so I might as well go easy on myself and not have to work too hard at it. Daimyo's about to use this disciple and take another point away from me, the one I just earned. And now what I have left is my errand boy here. I guess I'll recruit a character. I've got the storyteller, which does the same thing that what's that specialist that does that? The female samurai. When you use it to complete a mission, you can convert 5 mon that you gained from the mission into 1 point. It's not as good as coming here, which allows you to spend 4 mon and convert it into 1 prestige point, but of course that requires a worker to do that. What else? I've got Eminent Advisor to the Shogun, draw 3, keep 1 mission card. The Beggar again, I'll ignore that. Oh, Ronin. Well, I'm just trading in 1 disciple now to get an extra disciple next round. But yeah, what the heck? Let's play with the Ronin for a round. And now we're going to move into round 5. And there's my Ronin. So now I've got 6 disciples available. And I got them on there from my dojo. And we're in round 5. So this is the last of my green cards. I think I want weapons again. So I'm going to bid 4 and hope it's enough. I needed to bid 3 or higher, so I bid 4. I'll spend 4 to draw 3 weapons. I need to get rid of this katana and what I think I need a blowgun, right? Yeah, blowgun. I've got everything else. All right, blowgun, blowgun, blowgun. Blowgun! Okay. So I'll take that and I'll get rid of the katana. And now we're in the assignment phase. Oh, so let's take a look at what else is going on here. Dangerous beauty. We need to expand our influence and gain even more knowledge. Our spy network needs to grow, and you will find the best infiltrators among those least expected. Your task should now be clear. The event card is Walls Have Ears. During this round, players are not allowed to play action cards. Well, my action cards have been pretty much useless except for weapon stash, so I'm not too worried about that. Oh, this is great. Perfect for me. I just need to place a disciple here. I have the 2 necessary geishas. I'll score 2 points. Great. I think I am ready to work on the Kill the Shogun card. I have everything I need except for 13 Mon. Now I need to have presence in the temple, in the market, and in the castle. I have a blessing, so I don't have to use my monk. My mission cards require that I get into the tavern and the temple. The second card for the Daimyo is going to be a repeat of the first. I think I'm going to go into the market first. But with what? I just need presence in the market. I'll just send a disciple there. The Daimyo is going to the market. No effect on the watch patrol. It will not be able to go into the market for its next disciple, so it will try to get to the bower. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my errand boy that I usually use to block the... Actually... Oh, I need presence in the castle for the Kill the Shogun, which the Errand Boy cannot provide for a mission. So I will use my Ronin and go to the bower. He tries to go. He can't get into the market. He can't get into the castle. He's going to move counterclockwise. He's going to go into the temple where I need to be as well. So I guess I'm going into the temple next. So I will go to the temple with my, I guess I'll go with my monk, so I can always activate with my monk, and that'll provide the blessing I need. I won't have to spend this blessing that I have. As long as I can keep my monk there, okay, it's going to the red light district next. As long as I can keep my monk there until the last minute, I won't lose a point due to his disciple being in the temple. Alright, I think I'm all set now. Oh, I need money. So for money, oh, I need to be in the temple with a blessing to complete this mission too. So I might activate my Kill the Shogun with something else. I need money, which I can get from the tavern. Watch patrols heading toward the tavern. No, it's going here and then going 2 spaces at least. So it's going to end up in the gates. It may go into the castle district, but it can't arrest my Ronin. So I'm okay so far. I am going to place my messenger in the tavern. Last card, it's going to the harbor. And it's going to switch colors. So right now it's going here, 2 more spaces. It's going to end up in the Gates district and then switch back to gold and start moving clockwise again. Doesn't affect me. That's good. I think I got 2 missions here that require the tavern, so I'm going to place my ninja in the tavern as well. And then my errand boy, I guess the Bakufu. Watch patrol phase. Heading for the Gates district and switching to gold. All right. So first things first, I need money. So I will use my messenger to complete this mission for 10. And the messenger provides me with another mission card, and I guess I'll take another yellow. Yellows so far have been good to me. This one's good as well. It needs me to go to the red light district. I haven't been there at all this game. The Daimyo is gonna, it's gonna go to the harbor. It's gonna take the 3 mon from the church and return it to the supply. So now I guess I'll use my ninja to complete my other mission card. Now I'm not in the harbor, so I cannot get the bonus, but I will get the action card, the mission card, and 5 mon. Which is just as well, since I don't need another blessing. I wouldn't be able to gain this blessing anyway. And I got Salvation by Devotion, which I'm pretty sure provides another blessing, so that's not very useful. I need to pick another mission card. It's going to be yellow. And again, I did okay there. Next, the Daimyo is going to go to the market and steal the poison. Doesn't affect me. And I think I'm ready to go here. I've got what I need to complete the Kill the Shogun mission. Wow. Wow. So remember, I don't get a reward for this. I don't collect 14 points, and I don't get 2 bonus cards. I get zip. But it does allow me to win the game, which I wouldn't otherwise have been able to do without completing this. So here we go. Let's get that out of the way. Oh, I have to pick a disciple. I could use the monk in the temple, but then that's going to cost me to later lose a point from this Daimyo's disciple in the temple. So I'm going to use my lowly disciple in the market to activate this Kill the Shogun mission. He is a powerful disciple indeed. So this is going to cost me 13 mon, and I get nothing in return except for a completed mission. Okay, next up, the Daimyo is going to Yeah, it's going to go over here to the red light district and do nothing because there's no more geishas. So I got to hold off on this. I will use the Ronin to recruit a character, I guess. I'm not sure what I need at this point. The fisherman, the shopkeeper. I don't need weapons. Shogun, which would be good for 1+1+1 for 3 points. And I don't need the carpenter. I'm taking the Shogun for 3 points. And I think, before I forget, I am ready to just use this expansion. I don't see any plans to use it, so I'm going to use it to gain a point. Hello. It's not letting me use it. Why? Any phase. Not sure. I'll try on my next turn. Could be a bug. Okay, disciple went to the temple. I don't lose a point because my monk is there. Let's try this again. Okay, let's find out why the expansion is not working. Well, that was easy. It's not my program's fault. It's because the walls have ears. During this round, players cannot use action cards. Totally forgot. If you were paying attention, you might have known that before I went off and tried to see if my program was making a mistake. So, no, my program's working exactly right. Remember, that's what I said in the beginning. My program is usually going to beat me to the punch and know what what I can do and what I can't do. So I'm going to have to wait to do the expansion, to play the expansion card in the next round. So where am I here? I am activating in the Bakufu, and I guess I'm taking another yellow mission. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I've also got this blessing up here, which I can, the monk, which I can, let me do the monk first. Oh, I've already started. Oh, well, doesn't matter. I'll just take a yellow. And now I will activate the monk and complete this mission for 10 mon. Oh, I shouldn't be using the monk. Well, I could have. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm just not going to gain the blessing, but I will get 10 mon and a point. That went really fast. Oh, I got it. Okay, 10 mon and 1 point. Go. Moving into round 6. Okay, so now I can use my expansion because the event card is no longer, well, technically, when does the event card stop? I guess it doesn't stop until the next event card comes up. So let's wait a moment. Oh, and this is going to be our first yellow errand showing up because we're in round 6. And because, of course, the Kill the Shogun card is gone, the first yellow errand under that has been revealed. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to complete this errand. Oh, but I was working on my Kill the Shogun mission, I doubt if I would have been able to have a free disciple to go up there. So I don't think there was a chance of me completing that. But I got to make sure I complete it this round. So what am I going to bid on? I guess, so you know what? For a change, I'll bid on bonus cards. Now, I'm working with a yellow card, a yellow errand now, so the average bid value for bonus cards is 3.78, high of 6, low of 3. I think I will bid, I have money to spare. I will bid a comfortable 5. That should be enough, I think. Odds are good that I'll win that. Divine and Deadly, yes, I only needed to bid 3 or higher for bonus cards, so I'm fine there. Let's see what I get. 1, 2, 4, or 6 points if you've completed 1, 2, 3, or 4 espionage missions. I've got a lot. I've got 4 easily. All these learn missions are espionage. Okay, so this one's worth 6 points. 1, 3, 5, 7 if you completed warfare missions. I don't think I have too many of those. I got 1. I just have 1. So that's worthless. 3 for each set of, 3 set for each, well, actually 3 for each set of geisha and annex. 2 geishas, 2 annexes is worth 6 points. So really either this one or this one will work. I guess I'll just take this one. And once again, the action card alert. And so let's clear that. Turn off action card alerts. And let's take a look at Divine and Deadly. Purity and Beauty make some lower their guard. We have found a way to quietly remove a suspicious official. Death will come unsuspected. Distrust, skip the trade phase. Well, that doesn't affect us. Need to assign a disciple. Need poison, which I no longer have. I used to have it. Need to spend a blessing, need to have a geisha, all that's good, and then I either score a point, I gain an action card, or I take 5 mon. Really, those are my choices. So if I want to complete this, I need to get some poison. Oh, there is poison in the market, and I want to complete this as well. Okay. In the watch patrol, where are you? You are headed for the Tavern district. I don't really think I have any business there this round, so that's okay. Your second Daimyo card is going to put you in the tavern, and +1 on the watch patrol, so the watch patrol is moving at least to the harbor, possibly beyond. Well, let's see, this pays 8 and a point and an action card. Oh, so let's get expansion done. Click cancel to score 1 prestige point. Brings me to 17. Okay. And I didn't spend my blessing, so I don't need salvation by devotion, and that doesn't give me any points, and the enforcer doesn't give me any points, so those are worthless to me at the moment. I think since I need to be in the red light district for this, and there's only one space in the red light district, I'm going to go there first. I'll use my messenger there. Daimyo is playing into the Gates district with a Gates card. I want to go to the Gates as well. I have to spend a mon, and I gain 9 in return, plus an additional 5, and a point, and an action card. I will place a disciple in the Gates district. So now it is going to the tavern we know. Doesn't affect me, it'll just bump up the Annex Offer. No impact on me. Oh, yeah, the Bower, right? Should I block the Bower? Yeah, I guess I should. Use my Errand Boy again. Daimyo's going to the temple, and you can use a blessing to avoid arrest. So right now this is still heading for the harbor, and I'm not there, so that's fine. Okay, I need to get to this errand. I'll use my monk up there. Of course, the watch patrol never impacts disciples that are placed on the errands. That goes without saying. He's going to the... Okay, so he got a castle card. He was blocked, so he starts looking for an empty action space, moving clockwise, and that was the tavern again. Oh, I want to grab some poison. I'm going to go up to the market with my ninja to grab poison. And all the cards are out, so we know the watch patrol is going to end up in the harbor. No effect on me. And why am I getting poison again? Was it for this? Yeah, for this. Which I'll be able to work on in round 7. So we're going to the harbor. To the market, sorry. Watch patrol, move to the harbor. And now we're in the action phase. So this errand gets me 2 points. That's easy. I'll take care of that. 2 points. I'm at 19. I think that's it. Yeah, I've already gotten 5 errands, so I've completed my errand goal of 5. I am well ahead of the 10 points I need to. And I've already completed Kill the Shogun, so I'm gonna easily win this game, unless I lose a heck of a lot of points now, but that's not very likely. The Daimyo is going to go to the gates first, activate there and do nothing. I will buy the poison I need. And I'll have to dump something. I'll dump the smoke bombs. Daimyo is going to... What's me over there? Daimyo's going to go to the tavern and just raise the Annex Offer. Twice in a row. So I'll complete this mission. Learn who will command the watch patrol. Not all officers of the watch patrol perform their duties with equal diligence. Lieutenant Wazashi, for instance, has a bad drinking problem. Try and find out who will command the watch patrol next week so we can plan our actions accordingly. Be in the Gates District, spend a mon. Gain 9 mon, so that's a net of 8. Have your dojo and your geisha, get a point, 5 additional mon for a total of 13. And another action card, which I'm sure is just going to be useless for me again. Double cross. Double cross, which is totally useless when you're playing solo against the Daimyo. Play this after another player plays an action card. Daimyo never does that. So that's totally useless. That's funny. Okay, ending my turn. He's going to the Daimyo again, to the tavern again, and just raising the Annex Offer. I guess I'm working on the red light district here. So this is good for 8 plus a mission plus a point plus an action card. Oh, those action cards, they're funny. Choose a mission deck. I guess it's going to be yellow as usual. I got 2 that require some rope, which I don't have. And what did I get? Weapon stash again. Well, I need rope. I'll get rid of double cross. That's totally useless. Should I just try for some rope? Might as well. Well, I don't need it immediately. Let's wait until next round. We'll just hold off for a second. Got to see how much money I need. Although I have plenty of money, I've got to activate this guy. Oh, I got to draw another mission card. I guess it's going to be yellow again. And now in my turn. Oh, he's up in the temple. It's going to cost me a point. Down to 20. Now I will activate my Errand Boy, and I guess all I can really do is recruit a character. Shogun's wife. When you visit the Shogun for a tea ceremony, or the Bakufu, draw 3. Watch Patrol. I haven't had any Watch Patrol trouble at all. Palace Guard. Natsuko again. Oh, and I want some rope. So if the weapon stash doesn't provide it, Natsuko could. I guess I'll grab her. And if necessary, so we're well, what are we? We're in the 6th round here. I might go to the harbor to convert money to points, and she would allow me to gain an extra point. So I'll take her. Oh, so yeah, that's right. We're in round 6. We're about to go into round 7. I haven't used my Shogun yet. He's good for 3 points. He'll raise me to 23. Okay. Last round? I think so. I guess I could bid for the rope. Or I suppose I could go for more bonus card choices. 2, 4, 6. Where do I stand on kidnappings? Only 1 kidnapping, so this really is not worth much in the way of points. This mission potentially provides me with a bonus card. No bonus card choice up there. For this, I need to be in the gates and the harbor. I think I'm going to bid on bonus cards again. See if I can do better than that kidnapping one. This one's okay. It pays 6 for my 4 espionage missions. Actually, I have 5 now. Yellow card, bonus 3.78. 5 should be plenty. Raise the bid to 5. I needed 3, so I overbid again. Let's see what I get. 5 points if you have at least 1 blessing, 2 geishas, 2 annexes. Yes, yes. 3 disciples, yes. 3 weapons, yes. And 6 completed missions easily. Okay, so this is worth 5. 5 if you've completed no espionage missions. That's worthless. 4 if you've completed no warfare missions. We know I've done that. So I guess I'm taking this. a little bit of everything, which is going to require me to dump something, and that's going to be the kidnapping card. Okay. Got my income there for my dojo. The same old action card alert, which I'll disable. Let's take a look here. The board is set. We need to start setting up the pieces crucial to our plan. Make sure that one of our beautiful spies is also armed with what she needs when the time to make our move comes. The Shogun is jealous. The group loses all money in excess of 7. It already did it. How much did I lose? Lost 24 mon. Oh, that's 2 points worth. Oh my god, and I was ready to buy points with mon this round. I should be able to cover that. I just need to complete a couple missions. That should be all right. Let's go back here. I can't believe I lost all 24 mon. I need red light district, geisha, mansion, 2 points, or a bonus card, or 5 mon. 2 points is nice. I could potentially complete any one of these. So let's see. This one scores 1 point and requires that I have poison, which I now have, and a blessing and a geisha. So this one's good to go. It just needs a disciple. This one's worth 2 points. And I'm in round 7, so this isn't going anywhere. You don't suffer the penalty for this because this is going to be the end of the game. So I don't have to complete this mission. I could go to this one and score 2 points. I'd have to be in the red light district. Here I need to be in the harbor. This only scores me 1 point. Okay, so possibly this red light. For any of these, I need rope. Oh, I have weapon stash. Yeah, let's use it. Question is how many to draw. There's a lot in the discard pile here. There's 3 rope. That means 2 are still in the bag. But there's plenty of fighting claws in the bag. And plenty of blowguns there as well. I think I want rope badly to complete. These are pretty valuable. This one scores a point. And what is that, 18 mon? And an action card, a worthless one. This one scores 2 points, an action card, and 12 mon. Here's 2 points over here as well. Yeah, let's go for broke and bid and pay 3 mon for 5. I need rope. Oh yes, plenty of rope. Got a discard. I'll get rid of the shuriken. I don't need that for anything. Yeah. Let's make sure. Yeah, we're going to get rid of the shuriken. And final assignment phase. I actually think the missions pay off better than the errands do. Where are you going? You're going to the harbor and switching the color of the watch patrol in your second play. No, it's the last round, so there's no watch patrol. This is really ready to go. It doesn't require any disciples, but then again, it just requires a disciple on the card, but this just requires a disciple in the red light district, and it pays 2. I'm tempted to go to the red light district, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Doesn't matter what I use. I will place my disciple in the red light district. And you're going in the temple. Going to cost me a point unless I take some action up there. I really, oh, well, this needs me to go to the temple, and it's worth 2 action points. It's worth 2. Needs a blowgun, which I have. Of course, I have the Annex. Pays 12. Yeah, I'm going to place my messenger in the temple. That should keep me from losing a point up here. You are going to the harbor. Here I need to be in the tavern, scoring 2 points, and the temple. 2 points and 8 mana, and another bonus card. I think I'll go to the tavern with my ninja. Oh, I want to get to the, I want to go to the harbor. Okay, you're going to the market. I want to get to the harbor to buy points. Market or harbor, either one, I could get blocked out of the other. Well, you've already gone to the harbor this round, so the harbor card is gone, which means you're more likely to go to the market, although you've already gone to the market too. I honestly don't know what to do here. I guess I'll, it's not that much, it's not that many points. I'm just kind of scratching for a couple extra points. I guess I'll move my monk into the market, and then just don't go to the harbor, please. You went to the, oh, you went to the castle finally. Oh, you got a wild card. You tried to repeat the market, which you couldn't do, and you finally got into the Bower. But now it's too late for you to have any effect on me. So my errand boy is going to go to the harbor to convert money into points. No watch patrol. The final action phase. We will start here for 10. Okay. You are taking the money from the church. That's fine. I didn't care. The tavern is good for 8 and 2 points and a bonus card. So now I've got a third bonus card. What did I go? 1 for every 2 completed missions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 6 points. Possibly 7 if I get another mission completed, which I will be doing. That's sticking around. And this was worth 6, and this is only worth 5. But this card's going away. Wow, that's a great card to have. Okay, what are you going to do? You're going to go here to the market and take a blowgun. Oh, so I'm in the red light district. So I will use this guy to complete this guy. Yep, we've seen this card. I need to be in the red light district, have a geisha and a Yashiki mansion, and I will take the 2 points. I'm pretty good with those 2 bonus cards. Yeah, I'm not going to draw a bonus card. Complete this. Good for 2 points. Up to 27. And that probably was my 6th completed errand. It was. What is the Daimyo going to do next? I think it's going to the temple. Nope, sorry, the Bower. Missed that. I'm not used to it going to the bower. It's now in first position place, but that doesn't matter. I guess I'm going to complete this mission. Good for... Oh, wait a second. That's going to cost me... I got to stay there for the moment, not to lose a point. I will come down here. I will convert money to points. I will use Geisha Natsuko, which allows me to convert 9 to 4. Good return. 31 points. Now you will finally get rid of the disciple in the temple, and I won't lose a point. And finally, I will play this, which is good for 12, 2 points, and another action card. God only knows what it will be. Scrap dealer. I don't need weapons anymore. I am done. Oh, I get to draw another mission card. You know, for kicks, I'll just take a black. I'll just take a black. What the heck? I can't. Oh, I could potentially complete it, but we're done. There's nothing left. I think I've won this game. What do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 7 points for this action card alone. Won the game, ended the game with 33 points, scored 17 additional points, 6 for the espionage missions, 7 for 1 per 2 completed missions, 2 points for my blackmail card. I had 25 mon, which was worth 2, total of 50 points, completed 6 errands. I needed to complete 5, scored 50 points. I needed to score 10. I won. And that is how you play solo. So I guess the instructions that suggest that you start at the normal difficulty level are probably more accurate. I wasn't even paying attention too closely, and I won handily here. But this is great. You know, it's different. You're not playing against other players, but there's still there's this puzzle to figure out of what's he going to do, how's he going to affect you, where's the watch patrol going to end up. This is great. This is a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. Maybe if I have the wherewithal to try playing a co-op game with 2 players working together to complete more and harder errands, maybe I'll try that. That should be different. But for now, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you now know how to play the solo game of the Shogun Must Die of Yedo, the Deluxe Master Set. I thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye for now.